Good evening, everyone. This is John from Coins, RPGs, and more. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the coins aspect of this channel and where I'm at right now and where the next steps are going to be with coins. Right now, I have actually almost completely finished the presidential dollar collection. Now, not all the coins have made their way to me. I'm waiting for some to be delivered through the mail. And once that album is complete, I will show it off. And I'm almost the same is true with the Sacagawea dollars, as well as the album for the Susan B. Anthony dollars. I am a little, excuse me, I still haven't been able to get the 1981 set of all three mints for the Susan B. Anthony's, but I'm working on that. So I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do next, and I made a decision. And my decision was I don't want to just collect things just to collect them. I want to kind of make my way with intent. So I looked at what I already had. And what I already had are these Warman's folders for the national parks and the state quarters that I have been working on filling with pocket change as I go. Now, I don't think I've talked about them too much on this channel previously, partially because they're really not a focus. They aren't part of my primary attention. They're done through pocket change. I only this past Friday did I actually intentionally get quarters in order to search to try to fill these, and that was 20 bucks in quarters, and I got a fair amount. So to kind of show what I've done here, there's a lot of room. There's a lot of places that have not been filled in these. So as you can see, I've got a lot more to go. But it's been kind of fun. So those are the state quarters. It's been kind of fun to do this with my pocket change as I go. I've enjoyed the process. And because I've enjoyed the process, I thought, why not continue this? Here's the National Park quarter. This one I've had a lot more success with, as you can tell. And I think part of the reason why I've had much more success with this, you can see I still am suffering when it comes to the early ones, is because these coins are so readily available. They're quarters. Everyone's got quarters. You know, no one holds on to their quarters for the most part. People are usually quite eager to get rid of them. I work with some individuals that if I let them, they would simply give me their quarters or their nickels or their dimes or their pennies. Because like, I just don't want to deal with it. Just you take it. And like, I don't know. I will pay you face value for your change. Tell me how much you got. Because I don't want to be, I don't want to take from others. No matter what. This is not about that. This is about me enjoying the process and maybe sharing my love of the process of coin collecting with other people and helping them see the fun that can be had here. So I've got these Warman's folders, and they're neat and they're nice looking, and I've enjoyed having them for the past little while, but something's missing. Something's missing. And what's missing is they don't match my albums for the dollar coins. And so it looks kind of weird to have these really nice albums and then these little folders that, while they still look nice, they look very different. And so I decided, let's fix that. So these just arrived in the mail today. National Park quarters, statehood quarters. These are nice Whitman's albums, the same ones that I have for my presidential dollars, my Susan B. Anthony dollars, and my Sacagawea dollars. So the next thing I'm going to be doing in my coin collecting is I'm going to be transferring the coins I have in these into these albums. And then I'm going to go through the rest of my collection of quarters again and try to fill more gaps. Because when I filled in, for example, the state quarters, let's try to show you. The state quarters differentiate between Denver and Philadelphia. So everything I've got in this is going to be pretty golden, you know, place for place to fill in the state envelope. But the national park quarters is just one example of each. That's all that was needed for this folder, which is also why I have so many of these spots filled, is because I didn't have to double fill with anything. But I'm going to go back and try to make sure, because I know I've got a lot of Denver mint. For whatever reason, my location gets a lot of Denver mint. I struggle to find any Philadelphia mint coins. So if there's a collector out there who knows me and can contact me personally, I'm not going to give any of my contact information out. This is for people that already know me, whether they're family and whatnot, who lives in a place that gets a lot of Philadelphia mint, and you want to arrange a trade and exchange Denver for Philadelphia, I'd be happy to consider that, but only for, you know, friends and family that know me. Okay, this is not a general offer to the public. Anyway, so that's step one, is this exchange. But I can't do anything without overcomplicating it. That seems to be my lot in life. So if I'm going to do quarters, I might as well go all the way. And I also picked up the Washington quarters from the year 1932 through 1990. The Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints by year. And that's going to be a fun fill, because I'm sure this is going to take me quite a while to collect all of these quarters, especially if I go through by coin roll hunting and I don't sit there and go to a coin shop and deliberately buy the coins that I want. That'll be what I do towards the end. Excuse me. In order to fill in the little gaps in my book. But I'm going to try to go as far as I can just by coin roll hunting, because to me that's where the fun is in the hunt for treasure itself. If I can find a place that'll get me a box of quarters, I'll be very happy. I know there's a coin shortage in my area right now when it comes to anything that's like quarters, nickels, dimes, and pennies. So I really don't expect to get a box of quarters anytime soon, but I'm keeping my eyes out. The other thing I have is the Washington quarters from 1991 to 1998. Now, I actually got this book last night, and I went through with my pocket change, and I was able to, for the most part, fill in a good chunk of this. Now, a lot of the empty spots are the proof coins, the spots for the proofs. I don't have proofs. I'm keeping my eyes out for them. I would love to get my hands on some, but again, I'm just hunting through pocket change here, and I really don't expect to pick up a lot of proofs in pocket change. But what is nice about this little folder is it also has this back page that fills in the rest of, you know, the set, but then gives me all these blank, unlisted spaces. I'm predicting that I'm going to come across some fun pieces, whether it's a quarter that someone's dipped in gold for whatever reason, which I found with the dollars, or it's a quarter that someone has added some kind of detail to. I don't know what I'm going to find. Whatever it is, maybe a foreign coin that's quarter sized. I don't care. If it's quarter sized or quarter related, I can put it in this album, and then it will sit nicely on my shelf. So that's stage 2. They're both quarter stages, so really they're kind of all the same stage. But I wanted to make sure that if you're gonna do quarters, do it right? So, but that's not the only thing I'm doing. I've got one other trick up my sleeve. And I swore to myself when I started coin collecting I wasn't going to do this. And I'm still not really sure I'm going to continue it. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to fill both of these Kennedy half-dollar albums. Minus the proofs. I really, if I find proofs, I'm very happy. If I find specific varieties, I'm very happy. Am I going to break the bank to get them? Heck no. At least not right now. Maybe if I manage to fill all these quarters and all these half dollars, and I've got money to burn, and I've ditched all my other hobbies, and this is the only thing that I'm doing, then maybe I can splurge and pick up a couple of proof coins. But I don't know. That does not appeal to me necessarily. They're beautiful. I love them when I find them. I've actually found a proof Susan B. Anthony coin, and oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. Oh my heart. I picked up this coin and I knew instantly, like I'd been thinking for a long time, how am I going to know if I find a proof? Like, come on, they're all like these have all been circulating for so long. There's no way that I'm going to be able to figure that out. And then I saw it and I said, oh, okay, I get it now. And I totally get it now. Proofs are beautiful. I am not knocking proofs. So anyone who's mad at me right now, you can just chill. I'm not knocking proofs. I love proofs. I love that proof that I found. But part of the reason why I love it is because I found it. Not because I went out and got it. If I find them, they're mine, they're beautiful, I love them. And I may continue to look, here and there. I may start picking up dollar coins again, just to occasionally look around for a proof. But right now, I'm happy to be kind of done with dollar coins, not because I don't like them anymore, but because buying a box of dollar coins is expensive. And I don't have that much money to throw around towards any hobby. I mean, this has all been an accumulation over many years. Many years. And a lot of it spent a long time in boxes, never seeing the light of day. Especially this set of, the reprints of the D&D original Dungeons and Dragons books, this wooden box set I've got here. That's been in boxes and in storage for more years than I'd care to count ever since its release, because I didn't have a place to display it. I didn't have a place to have it out. And so none of this is recent. Some of it is a little more recent, but most of it isn't. And it's the same way with everything else that I've got. It's an accumulation over time, and I want to be accumulating these coins over time. So that's kind of where I'm at. I've got these one. It's Kennedy half dollars, 1964 through 2002, and then the Kennedy half dollars, 2003 through 2018. Now, I think there is another page I can get for this album. There's certainly room in the album that will update it from 2019 through 2021. I'll double check on that. If it's not out yet, it might be out soon. And then that will allow me to keep that collection going. Either that or maybe they'll release another album, eventually to kind of just fill in the gaps until they decide the Kennedy $half program can end for whatever reason. Excuse me. But I do have a box of $half coming in my way from a very, very generous bank who's very kind to me and whose location and name I will not reveal out of respect for them. Just suffice to say that if you know my face and you've dealt with me before and you happen to see this video, thank you again. You've been fantastic, and I hope that we can continue to do this kind of business together. Because this has been a real treat, and I promise I shall continue to never return anything that I get from you back to the same bank. It will always either be used to buy things and spread out through the world to spread the love of the coins, or returned to a completely different branch. So again, thank you to the bank if you happen to see this, and if you happen to be a collector and you're thinking about getting a box from your bank. That's one thing that I learned from channels like Rob Finds Treasure and Coin. No, not Coin Op. I didn't learn that from Coin Op. I'm sorry, my apologies. But I did learn from Rob Finds Treasure and a few other channels that I pay attention to. And they made a point to say, if you are getting a box of coins from somewhere, never, ever, ever take it back to the same bank because that's a lot of work for them, and they don't have to. Get you the coins, especially right now when there's a coin shortage and there's a bit of a disagreement on whether or not people should be getting coins at all. I got the $20 worth of quarters from my bank, same bank that I got my dollar coins from, but they would only do $20. That was the maximum that they would let me take out at that time, and they're the same bank that I have picked up 2 different boxes of dollar coins from. So they're not fooling around. That's what they have to do. And I totally get that. So I said this in an earlier video about a different topic, but go gently in the collection hobby. I think that's a good way to go. And it's how I intend to go, because frankly, finding any bank that would do a box of coins for me in any denomination was hard. It took me weeks to find one bank that would do that. And thankfully, it was fairly local to me. And I don't drive. I have to do everything on foot. So local is great because I really don't want to carry a box, for a long distance. And that's why I'm very careful about their location and which bank they are, that sort of thing. I'm not going to talk about that here. Just suffice to say that I did find one, and I'm very grateful, and I'm going to do my best to foster that relationship in a positive manner. And if you happen to get lucky enough to find a bank that will do that for you, I suggest you do the same. Be kind, go gently, and be thankful. Not in a ubiquitous. What is that word? I'm saying it wrong. Not in a fawning fashion, but just very appreciative, very positive. Never, if they give you guff, don't sit there and question them and think that they're trying to mess you over and shortchange you. They're not. They're a business. They want your business. They want you to keep coming. So go gently with them and be polite, and you're better off than anything else. So that's the state of the coin portion of this channel. That is where I'm going, and I hope to continue to share those things with all of you as they develop. And if you want to see more album tours of what I've collected, let me know in the comments below if you want me to keep you abreast of how many Kennedy $half I managed to find in that box that actually make it into the albums. I can show you those things. I certainly will film me hunting through it to see if I can find any silver. I don't think I will, considering where I'm at, but there's always a chance. One hope springs eternal, as has been said. And if there's something else that you would like me to cover regarding the coin hobby, I'm all ears. I can talk about the interesting, like the weight of coins and how that makes a difference in life, because I actually spent some time where I tried to only spend dollar coins in order to buy things because of the weight of the money, because I was thinking about it. I was using it as a tool to think about money intentionally. And maybe that's something we can talk about in the future. Or maybe we can talk about why dollar coins are cool and why I think they should replace dollar bills, even though people hate dollar coins and don't want them to replace $1 bills. We can talk about that. There's a lot of topics we can talk about with regards to coins. I mean, I can even kind of combine the two, and I can talk about real world coins, or at least American real world coins, versus the coinage systems that we find in role playing games and fiction, and how understanding a fantasy world's currency can help you understand that fantasy world to a greater extent than you already do, because we have a lot of assumptions about currency that kind of live with us and we keep in our heads, but we don't actually really articulate too much until you sit there and force yourself to think intentionally about the money in your pocket. And I'm not talking about like this dollar and I'm going to think about where it's been and where it's going and what it means. No, I mean thinking about, I've got X number of dollars and I'm budgeting for Y. And I need to think very intentionally about how many of those dollars I'm going to spend and how many am I going to save, because I'm also wanting to eventually get Z. So we can talk about that too. And we can talk about the anatomy of a coin, not just what it's worth, but what makes our coins unique. What makes each, like a Washington quarter, what makes a Washington quarter in a more detailed sense than just, well, there's George Washington on it. Really? That's as far as you want to go? All right. But there's more to it than that. I mean, why are the state quarters special? What are the symbols on the state quarters? What do they mean? I can talk about that if you'd like. I can go into those kinds of details. We can talk about, I do want to talk about the presidents. And I'm looking forward to doing that once I've got the full collection of presidential coins, and then we'll dig into each individual presidential coin and talk a little bit about the president and why they're interesting enough and why they're worthy of having their visage on a coin, even though most of us don't even recognize their names. Let's be honest. The vast majority of United States citizens, and especially even kids going through school right now, they don't know who Warren Harding is. They don't know why that person was a good president. They don't. I mean, they know Washington. They might know John Adams. They will recognize the name of Thomas Jefferson. But then, like, most of those guys are going to be a complete blank until you get to Abraham Lincoln. That's a lot of presidents between Jefferson and Lincoln. And we don't talk about them. So maybe that's something that I can do in the future. If you'd like that, please let me know. I'd really appreciate the feedback. If this is not interesting to you at all, and you just want to look at me and say, John, could you cut it out with the coins? You're boring the heck out of me. I want to hear about RPGs. You know what? If I get enough of that, I'll let the coin stuff slip to the side. And we'll concentrate on RPGs because I want to cater to my audience. I don't want to spread things too thin per se. If so, but you know, this is the segment. Anything that is under the coins header of my channel, I want to talk about coins. I want to talk about what that means because it's fun for me. But you know, I hope it's fun for other people. I hope you can enjoy it. Thank you for hanging out with me for this ramble. I wonder if these more rambling style of videos where I just kind of keep talking instead of trying to specifically fit into a 12-minute to 20-minute time slot, are these more fun for you? Are they something that you enjoy? Am I talking too much and rambling and annoying you? And uh, you know, just let me know if you want me to try to be a bit more concise. I can be a bit more concise. I I kind of like relaxing and just chatting, but I don't have to do that if that's not what my audience would prefer. So, thank you very much for hanging out with me. Thank you for listening to what I have to say about the future of the coin segment of this channel. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I hope you all have a marvelous day. Peace be with you always. Bye bye.